Good morning, Fuse. Andre, what's happening?
Yes,
Yes,
Joe.
my brother. How
How
you
you
doing,
doing?
bro?
We're good,
Blessed, my
man.
brothers. Blessed, blessed, always and always. We're here to talk all things School of New Africa. I know who wants to start. Fuse, maybe yourself. School of New Africa. What's it all about, sir?
And first of all, I can't believe we went from the last time we saw you was an actual building, and now we're doing that.
That
That's
building's not
that's
even there no more, I have you know.
yo.
Just for the record.
Wow, the whole of
The
Elephant
whole
Castle
elephant in the
changed,
castle is not there anymore.
innit? Wow.
Yo, man. But yeah, that goes to show. I mean, in terms of technology, and it's kind of similar to what we're doing now because we actually built a physical school. We built a physical school in Ghana, and now we're onto this digital platform that teaches Black history, African history, and African languages in a gamified way. So yeah, that's what Sona stands for, School of New Africa. And as from early, our journey and the music journey has always been purposeful for us, because I always say to people that the music is what we're naturally talented at. But for us, we always think about the purpose. What are you using your gifts for? And I always ask people, I always ask other artists as well, like you're fantastic at what you do, but what is the purpose attached to what you do? And I think that's what's really kept us here and allowed us to keep going and motivated us to keep going. So from early, it's been about, of course, pushing, the culture forward and changing the perception of Africa, realigning the world's mental image of how they see Africa and how Africans themselves see themselves. And with through the music, we've been able to start, I guess, a self-love revolution where people started to fall back in love with themselves. Africans started to fall back in love with themselves, no longer pretending to be from, Jamaica or the Caribbean, you know, we genuinely, fall back in love with ourselves because we were pushing a different image of the continent of Africa, unlike what mainstream media tends to push, which is, poverty, famine, and kids with flies around their mouth, stuff that I've mentioned in the past. We wanted to be the platform to push a different narrative, a narrative that's more closer to the truth of the Africa that we know, the Africa that I grew up in, Africa that I go back to every year. And we managed to do that through the music, and now, as you can see, everyone's embracing the continent, Africa, Afro beats. You know, the whole world is loving Afro beats right now. And again, it's all because of the movement that we sparked off, and my peers, also contributing towards a different image to the continent. So from there, we knew that we had to evolve, I guess, evolve the movement, because once you love something, you want to know more about it. And we knew that Africans were now back in love with themselves. Even when I went to Jamaica and went to the Caribbean, it felt like they really wanted to connect with us, reconnect with us. There was this sense of love that as the diaspora, we really wanted to reconnect with ourselves. Even when I have sit downs and studio sessions with Damian Marley, um, sit downs with like Chronics and Kabaka, like my brothers over in Jamaica, there's this thirst for us to want to reconnect and rebond, because what happened 400 years ago that really separated us, and 400 years of like I guess wrong education, and 400 years of um wrong influence on us to disunite us and just to discombobulate the African nation. We're now at a time where we're now coming back together. So we, for myself and my business partner, we were just like, when you love yourself, you want to know more about it. So we feel like it was the perfect time for us to provide a platform that would allow people to really find out who they are. And that's what Sona is about. because a lot of times even the people that want to know more about their history, they don't really get to it's hard to find it, and when you do find it, it can get overwhelming, it can be too much. So we felt like it's the perfect time, for us to provide a platform that simplifies the content, that makes it more digestible, but staying authentic to the stories that are hidden, stories like the empires of West Africa, Egypt, when it was Kemet, stories like Queen Mothers of Wars, just talking about the queens in Africa, stories like Imhotep being a multi-genius, and him being the main person to even the reason why there's medicine now, in right now is because of someone like Imhotep. The reason why there's mathematics is because of African women um, discovering the Lubumba bone. Just stories. The fact that we invented street lights, the fact that um, uh, what other interesting thing is there? The fact that it was us that the fact that it was us the fact that it was us that started the Mali Empire, Ghana Empire, the what's the empire after the Mali Empire?
Songhai Empire.
Shanghai Empire. We had libraries and books that really changed, revolutionized how people lived. But all these books have been burned and hidden, and Sona's really here to uncover all these stories and all these libraries that's been burned. So yeah, so that's really why we wanted a platform to exist, for people to be able to remember who they are, remember who they're supposed to be, and so we can have solutions to our current problems. But yeah, so that's what Sona is, really, a platform to really allow our people to discover who they're supposed to be. We're primarily targeting the kids right now because it's easier for kids to learn than for adults to unlearn. But it's so interesting that as an adult, even when you sign your child up for it, you're gonna learn, because there's so many interesting things that we didn't know because we weren't really taught in school. So yeah, that's really what the evolution of the movement is right now, School of New Africa.
We'll get into how that ties in with Tina. This is New Africa, which is your ongoing movement, right? And but Andre, I wanna get from you how the financial literacy element is factored into this platform. Fuse has touched on all of the historical
I think
contributions, but how does it combine with the financial education as well?
I think the main thinking and thesis behind that is that, so we started building this. We had the idea for a long time, but we really started working on it during lockdown. So lockdown hit. We'd had the idea for a long time, but never had the time to work on it. Lockdown hit, we couldn't tour. As all of a sudden we had loads of time. Obviously in the midst of that, everything happened with, George Floyd and whatnot. And we kind of knew that this solution was there and it needed to be built. And I think the great thing about the silver lining that came out of that whole period was that people got to the point where they understood that if there is going to be a difference made, it has to be at an economic level, if it has to be at a political level, if we're going to see, any form of justice. But our kind of understanding is that you'll never have an economic revolution or a political revolution unless you have a psychological one first. And so that's why actually telling our stories, actually changing the way we see ourselves psychologically, we feel is the key to having that end result, in the economic and political realm. So the main thing is about leadership. And so part of leadership is learning how to manage resources. And so that's why we wanted to connect the financial literacy with alongside learning the historical education. And so that's why it was very important. And then we in order to bring it together, we had to work with, a lot of financial institutions to, build something that's never existed before. So we have a partnership with MasterCard. We have a sponsor bank that kind of, makes sure all of the funds are safe in a regulatory perspective. And so, connecting that has been a really powerful kind of added value, to the initial proposition of actually learning our history, but actually it's another way of them expressing and learning leadership at an early age, managing the resources, managing their pocket money, and understanding, you know, and again, we're preparing the children for the next generation. We've gone past the days of piggy banks, and soon physical cash is not going to really be existing. So if we're not preparing them to use currency and to use digital platforms when it comes to money, then we're kind of doing the next generation a disservice as well. So that's why we thought it was really important, alongside the actual historical education, to connect the dots as well.
For those who are watching, this financial literacy and education comes in the form of getting the kids to engage in in-game rewards, which they manage, and there's a whole debit card associated to this as well. I'm assuming it's going to be physical, digital. So bearing in mind,
it's a prepaid card.
Bearing in mind the partners that you've just outlined. So speak about that element, Andre, being just as engaging for the family as any kind of deep dive into historically who we are, because we can be very much engaged with the game itself, and that can teach us skills both across generations, old and young.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, again, financial literacy is something, especially in our community, that, again, has been overlooked. So it's super important to kind of start those conversations really early. But in terms of making it fun and engaging, again, there's nothing, money is a great motivator, especially for, the next generation. So literally, as the young people complete their missions, they unlock their pocket money onto the card, and then they can go and spend it, anywhere. So it's giving them that sense of understanding of the value of money, that, things don't just fall out of the sky, and they can see, okay, I've got £5 now. I've gone and bought something in the shops, and now I've got £3. Like, actually, okay, my money is decreasing. It doesn't just, come out of thin air. So, really sort of connecting the dots for the young people. And again, I think for us, when you learn about your history, you realize that actually always we've been at the cutting edge of technology. And so this is kind of full circle for us, because actually what we've built is really, really cutting edge. But again, and that's how it should be, because we have an understanding of, what our ancestors have done, what has been done in the past. So it's that we're trying to replicate. When you understand what has been done, it empowers you to go forward and break new ground. And that's what we've been able to do,
If you speak on, some of the leading African historians that you kind of worked with and touched base with in order to ensure that the content flying on this platform is credible.
It's actually been an incredible journey of just even learning African history myself, because when you sit down with legends like Honorable Robin Walker, do you know what I mean? He's like the top historian, from the UK, an amazing individual who just, his mind is just something else, man. And just to be able to spend time with someone like him, that you get to learn so much. So we have Robin Walker from the UK. We have from America, we have Dr. Anthony Browder, who's also an amazing author and historian. From Ghana, we have Honorable Kojo Yanka, again, an amazing author and a historian. For the Caribbean, we have Fiona Compton. We have Fiona Compton. And to represent the women across Africa and the UK as well, Dr. Muna Abdi. Again, amazing author and historian. Yeah, all these and not forgetting one of our main guys helping us put together the curriculum and liaison with all the different historians, Nigel Stewart, who is the founder of the School of Pan-African Thought.
Pan-African thought, yeah.
So all these, I guess, scholars and historians and authors are all on the board, and they're the ones that's helping us put together the framework for the curriculum. So it's been an incredible experience, just liaising with these people and spending time with them and seeing the framework being put together by our people for our people to be able to tell these stories that are just hidden, but these stories exist. These guys have already done the work. Honorable Robin Walker, he does the Saturday schools and well respected. He's already put in the work. He already has the framework in place. We're just connecting the dots and just bringing it to the people in a way that's just easy to take in. So yeah, we've got an amazing board of historians, and they're the ones that's helping us put the curriculum together. And as well as that, we've connected them with young writers. So once they put together the curriculum, the framework of what needs to be done, these writers now put the lessons together, but we call them missions. They put the missions together, and we have entertainment writers that make it more digestible for the people. Because African history, as it is now, in terms of when you try to find it online, it can be overwhelming with when the information starts coming in. But the way that our team of writers have put it together, it just makes it so easy to understand. It makes it so much fun and a lot more engaging. And yeah, we have an amazing team of animators as well who make it look super fun and engaging as well and gamify it for us. And the best team of developers from Ghana and across the continent, again, who are helping us build a world-class app so we can roll it out globally. Do you know what I mean? So we have an amazing set of team that's helping us put everything together, and it's been an incredible journey with them.
You guys won the FinTech Startup of the Year award at at the International Business Awards.
Yeah.
I guess bearing in mind what Fuse has just said in terms of the people you're attracting to help you make this the very best it can be, how did that impact your growth, and I guess how do you see it impacting your growth moving forward?
Yeah, no, I think it's just it's incredible to get that sort of badge of honor, especially at such an early stage in what we're doing. We are, like we said before, it's groundbreaking, the work that we're doing. And actually, we're one of the very few Black fintech. Fintech stands for financial technology companies in the UK. So where, it feels good to kind of really be flying the flag and actually, winning awards and making impact and actually, creating a product that is giving value to people, So that extra validation, it just, it lets people understand, the weight and, the level of what we have done and what we've built together, and as Few said, we have an incredible tech team based out of Ghana. And it's just an incredible thing to have an African solution to an African problem. We are not, that's really the heart of what we're doing, is that we are tired of waiting, for the for the government to change the curriculum. Look how long we've been complaining about this, But the beautiful thing about technology is that it allows us to take matters into our own hands. We don't have to wait for anyone. As Fuse mentioned, we've got all of the historians, they've done the work. It just needs to be packaged in a way that is, compatible for, this next generation. So, when we get awards and stuff like that, it's just an icing on the cake. But yeah, really the biggest prize, the biggest reward is actually seeing that we have happy customers, the children are learning, they're enjoying, and actually we're helping the parents scratch an itch that they haven't been able to scratch in the mainstream, education system, for a long time. So that's the biggest reward, and that's really what motivates us and inspires us to keep going.
I saw the obvious value to us as a people globally, but it got me wondering, for children outside of Africa using Sona who don't come from us, our community, the Western world, if you want, they're going to benefit from this hugely, right? Finally, an accurate, credible, black-run resource with nothing but uplifting the narrative at its center, at its core. So I just saw that as a great additional value, because I didn't naturally think like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You'd be surprised, actually.
History.
Yeah, you'd be surprised actually, for like the kids in kids across the continent, in Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, the curriculum is actually British based. And every time I say that, people are surprised. But yeah, like, even though they're based in Ghana, what they're learning in school, they're learning British history. They're actually not learning African history, and I know that because we've built a school in Ghana, and whenever we've incorporated our history as an extra curriculum. It should be the main curriculum, but it's not. So they actually need it just as much as the diasporans actually need it over here too. So yeah, it's an amazing opportunity that we have, or I guess it's a blessing to be a vessel to be able to provide this platform to also children in Africa as well, for them to learn about who they are, because they actually don't know their history as well, because they're being taught history via the British or the US curriculum. So I'm super excited for them to also learn about our history.
I was looking at it and thinking to myself, this is great, fantastic. But what do you think I saw as one of the biggest challenges of being able to really delve down deep into history and retain authenticity?
Oh, big challenge. The big challenge is really making it digestible, I guess, making it simplifying in a way that it stays engaging. And that's why we've gamified it. That is why we've gamified it, where so it starts as the world being on the brink of destruction, and it's your responsibility to kind of bring it back to life. The world used to be a forest, is now turned into a desert. But as you learn your history and as you complete your missions, you plant trees and you bring the world back into a forest. So, and you're earning points and tokens as you're studying. So yeah, we already recognize that we needed to gamify in order to make it interesting. So definitely making it entertaining was one of the challenges. But also just in the tech world, it's a very challenging space, because it takes a lot to build an app. Financially, we've had to tap into our networks, and having to continuously tap into our networks to keep the to keep the development of the app going, because it costs a lot. We spend a lot of money on this, but again, we know the benefit that that it is for the community. So and we're grateful to have a network that actually want to support us, because they know the problems that we're dealing with, because they've experienced the problems themselves, and they're helping us with a solution that to a relatable problem. So yeah, it's been a challenging journey in the tech space, but it's very rewarding in the sense that when we're seeing parents sending in their kids learning, and the kids, we have an affirmation tool, hearing the kids use the affirmation tool, talking about, I'm the greatest, I can do it if I put my mind to it, just saying their daily affirmations. It's just been so rewarding, just seeing how the parents are just loving it. They now have a tool to assist them in raising the next set of leaders.
Language, that would have been the challenge I would have thought would have been one of the difficult ones to
So
to circumnavigate?
Why do you think
Yeah,
it'll be
so
a challenge?
What was your approach? What's your approach to the language that you're gonna present it in? And I guess which ones do you develop first? So many different languages across the country.
yeah. I guess the reason why I didn't mention that is because it's still pending. You know,
Okay.
we haven't unlocked the missions for the languages. So yeah, that part is still pending. We've launched the missions of our history, you know, for various territories, but we haven't unlocked the languages yet. So, you know, it's still something that we're still in motion in terms of
Yeah,
executing.
I
So
can imagine there's going to be loads of potential areas of development that you can put on pause, identify, grow it, move the platform on from. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Just to add to that, your point, Joel, as well. But the thinking is, or what we've actually put in process is that there's so many languages on the continent. So we're starting with the kind of three kind of most popular ones for here. So we'll be starting with Tree, Yoruba, Kiswahili. But actually, you know, we're looking into there's a lot of AI that's helping us currently at the moment to build out, you know, that part of the curriculum. So yeah, we're excited to launch that part, you know, as and when, you know, it gets there. But yeah, you'll see is what we've been working on is pretty cool.
yeah, it's exciting. It's new. It's a new space, but you know, it makes it feel adventurous because we're like, okay, how are we gonna do this? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful challenge. So looking forward to unlocking the language missions and see how we roll it out for sure.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting being first to market or first to kind of blaze a trail. I guess you're used to that to a degree.
Yeah.
But sometimes they say the first over the hill is the first to get shot in the head. Ever worry about that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to be worried about that. And you know, and even yeah, that's the thing, you know, sometimes we've you know, especially if you've kicked in so many doors, you know, and yeah, you know, that comes with certain extra challenges, you know, because you're having to do things first. So but I think, you know, our main thing is, you know, really focusing on the customer's needs and wants and, you know, trying to provide to that as best we can. Just so we can gather as much of the market, much of the opportunity. And I think, you know, all of the indicators are showing that, you know, it's going in a great direction for us doing just that, you know. But someone's got to do it. Someone's got to kick in the door. Someone's got to, you know, jump over the hill first, you know. And you know, it comes with its challenges, but you know, we've got an incredible team, incredible people supporting us that, you know, we believe that, you know, we've still got enough to, you know, to make it work and create an incredible product, which we have.
You know, there's no doubt about that. I've seen a lot of support online for it already, and I think it's going to grow. There'll be a groundswell in that regard.
Thank you.
The future, you've already touched on maybe some AI models that, you know, I can see the smirks on your face. You've got something, so, you know, keep it close, but do let us know when the time's right. But is there anything else you can share with us about the direction of where Sona moves forward? I fuse how this fits in with Tina. This is New Africa.
Yeah, man.
Well, she's
So
got a new album.
I got an album coming out. Called Sona as well. But this time it's the spirit of New Africa. And it's in alignment with everything that we're doing with this educational app. You know, because again, the music always has to align with the purpose. You know, so definitely you guys look out for this album. It's gonna be one of the best Afrobeats albums that you've probably heard. Do you know what I mean? I'm super excited for you guys to hear this one, man. It's got vibes on there, bangers, and you know, of course, it's got the messages as well, man. But we're really having fun with this, celebrating the culture, whilst also, you know, highlighting certain, you know, subjects that needs highlighting. But yeah, super excited, man. I got the album coming out, Sona, and the app is now live, Sona as well. So definitely look out for new music coming up, man.
Appreciate you both, man. Good luck with everything.
Nice one, brother.
I don't think there's much more to say other than telling people to go download the app today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's it. That's
Big
it.
rah,
Download
rah,
on the
rah,
Play
rah,
Store,
rah,
App
rah,
Store.
rah. And
Yeah, you
follow
can find
on
it everywhere.
Insta as well. School of New Africa. Yeah, find us on Instagram, TikTok, and yeah, make sure you download the app, you share it. Yeah, because the app is for us, built by us, for the community. So make sure you share it with your circle.